definitely smell the peanut butter in this beer.
Really?
Yeah, already.
Oh, wow.
It smells like a Nutter butter.
I'm Val, and this is my husband Josh. In the summer of 2019, we sold nearly everything we own and hit the road to travel full-time. Life on the road can be complicated at times, but the opportunities for discovery far outweigh our challenges. Each week, we bring you along to a new destination, discovering with us the best it has to offer. Join us on this journey as we learn how we can all find more adventure in the world around us.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Josh and I are so excited to be back on the road. We have taken the last almost 3 months to be stationary in Nashville and Indiana, and during that time we really talked a lot about what was the right next move, how to do it safely, and what we were most comfortable doing. For us, the right thing to do was to kind of get back on the road and start moving. And so we were really thinking about, in those 3 months, what it would look like and what would have to happen in order for us to hit the road again. So we put together this list of 7 things that you can do if you're considering hitting the road again, or maybe if you're just thinking about whether or not you should go on your summer vacation in your RV, or if you're thinking about canceling your plans. We hope you'll subscribe to our channel, and if you aren't able to travel this summer, at least you can come along with us. We have really fun plans to hit up Wisconsin, Minnesota, the Dakotas, Wyoming, Montana, and Colorado, all by the end of the summer. And we hope that you'll enjoy coming along with us and seeing what we're gonna see. Let's go get in the truck and I'll tell you a little bit more about this then.
Making moves, trying to get away from this life I'm living. Same old things every day, wanna change this feeling. Wasting no more time, don't care about what you say.
Our first tip is destination. This year, more than any year in the past, I'm sure, where you're going and picking that place is going to be even harder. And part of that may be that where you want to go isn't open or isn't welcoming guests from out of state. It may be that it's just too far for you to drive to this year and you just don't feel comfortable bringing your family that far. For us, as we've been thinking about where we're going this summer, we've really considered a lot of what would make us feel the most comfortable when we got there. And so we've planned a lot of activities around being outside, where there's lots of space to social distance, and it's a little bit easier to kind of keep ourselves safe as we keep moving around the country. Right now we're staying just outside of Milwaukee and we're in this great park. There's lots of space. It's really fantastic. But one of the main reasons we picked coming to Milwaukee is because we wanted to be able to check out all the amazing breweries that are here. This is our tip here. When you're thinking about what destination you're going to go to, make sure that the things that you want to do when you get to that destination are going to be available to you. Unfortunately for us, we can't go in. Most of the tasting rooms here in Milwaukee are closed right now, but to get around that, we've gone and we're doing curbside pickup at some of the most popular breweries in the area. We're going to do our own tasting back at the Airstream. So this is a really good way to get around when maybe the thing that you want to do isn't available. Finding creative ways to be able to do it so that you can enjoy that destination is going to be really important this year.
I don't even know what I want no more, yeah. I'ma figure out what to do with all my time, my new life, yeah. I don't even know what to do right now, yeah. I'ma figure out what to do with all my time, my new life, yeah. I don't wanna try again. I don't wanna try again. All we had with those memories, time to make some new.
So we're just back from picking up all of our beer from curbside pickups, and we ended up going to Mob Craft. We went to Broken Bat, and we went into Enlightened. We even got a weird peanut butter cookies kind of flavored. We're interested to see what that is. And one of them did a kombucha, so we're gonna try that as well. We did get a pretzel, as you might have saw, and we've already eaten half of it. But that brings us to tip number 2, which is to plan ahead. Wherever you are headed this summer, our best recommendation is that you call ahead or check the state, county websites before you head there, because there are ever-changing rules about what you have to do when you get there, whether you have to quarantine in place when you arrive for some amount of time, and you might find that it's not worth going if you're going to have to quarantine for 2 weeks before you can explore. That might not work into your schedule. So,
And restricted hours as well. All these locations did have restricted pickup hours, which definitely played a part into our locations.
yeah, so we would have loved to have gone to more. These were the 3 that we could kind of find that still had pickups today, so that was what helped us choose these. They're also very popular, so we're looking forward to checking those out. If you're not sure if your campground is going to be open, definitely call ahead and make sure that there are no issues with the campground itself. If you're staying somewhere where maybe there isn't a place to call to, a great resource is to check on Campendium. They've been tracking closures and reopens across the country. It's been a really great resource. We highly recommend it. So if you're not sure or you can't reach out to the place itself, if it's not private, if it's a county park or state park, that's a really safe bet. And really understand what the phases are of reopening where you're going. Make sure you know whether or not the state or city that you're going to be visiting is requiring masks. That's a really big thing. Make sure that if they are, obviously you've brought enough with you to be prepared. Just knowing what's going on and doing that planning ahead just means that when you get there, you're actually going to be able to enjoy that part of your vacation. So we're not going to try all this beer right now. We would be toasted if we drank all of this. But since we couldn't go and do flight at the tasting room since they're closed, we just thought this would be a really great way to be able to support these businesses and be able to try the beer. That was why we were coming to Milwaukee. So we're going to have our own little tasting. Do you have a preference on what you want to start with?
Definitely the peanut butter beer.
This is definitely Josh's choice. This would not be something that I would get on a flight. Josh and I rarely share flights because Josh likes funky, weird beers, and I'm more of a traditional, dark, hoppier beer kind of gal. So we're gonna try. Ooh, it's gonna fuzz. Okay, we're gonna try this peanut butter cookie beer, and we'll see. I mean, it was their most popular beer on their menu. And this place, was this from Enlightened or Mobcraft?
Mobcraft.
Okay, so Mobcraft is like known for all their weird flavor combinations. So this being their most popular, we're gonna give it a try because I spill it everywhere.
You can definitely smell the peanut butter in this beer.
Really?
Yeah, already.
Oh wow.
It smells like a Nutter butter.
Yeah, I think that's the cookie it's supposed to be after. Oh, okay. It doesn't taste as peanut buttery as it smells. It's kind of got like an earthy flavor. Maybe like a milk stout, but not as thick. Like it's a thin
definitely
milk stout flavor.
Definitely a stout.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's really good. I'm surprised. I didn't think I was gonna like that. So that brings us to tip number 3, which is understanding the interactions that you're going to have at campgrounds. So if you're going to a county park or a state park or national park, typically you pay ahead of time or there's a self-check-in kiosk, and you can kind of avoid interacting with people. The spaces tend to be a lot wider apart, and it's just a little bit easier. If you're planning on going to a private campground, while some of them are upgrading their reservation systems and allowing you to pre-book online or pay entirely online, there's kind of more of that like concierge experience. Usually somebody wants to bring you to your site. And our experience since this has all started has been people want to be a little bit closer to you than we've particularly been comfortable with. The sites are closer to one another, and it's just a little bit tough sometimes to be able to keep that social distancing. So I think it's really important to be prepared and know what the expectations are. Maybe call ahead to the campground and see if you can prepay if they don't have an online booking system, and just ask if you can give them your credit card over the phone and just pay entirely so that check-in process is a little bit faster for you. If you don't need someone to help you back in or get into the site, maybe you could just, when you arrive, say, no, thank you, we're good. We can get ourselves to our site. So those are some things that you can do just to kind of help. I know that a lot of times if you're staying somewhere where there's no hookups, we're doing that right now. We have water and electric. We don't have sewer. So normally we would be really comfortable using the community showers. We're kind of still on the fence about this. We're doing our best. We're trying to use them when they're cleaned. We're trying to not touch anything. And we're just trying to limit our use of them as best we can.
And the good thing is here, everything is super clean. The doors are open, so you definitely limit your interactions with any surfaces, which has been nice. But as Val was saying, definitely a case by case, location by location.
Yeah, and
scenario.
scout it out. Like,
Yeah.
just, kind of go in and check it out and see, do you feel comfortable? And if not, then make some adjustments. The camp hosts here have been great. They've been really communicative about letting us know how often the showers or bathrooms are being cleaned. And we just really appreciate that. Overall, I think be aware of your surroundings, understand that, you're going to have to interact in some capacity with people. Think about things like the picnic table, the kids' playground. I'm really honest, we have stayed at so many campgrounds in our full-time travels, and I've never once ever seen a kids' playground be cleaned by any park staff. So that's one thing I can definitely say, like, maybe avoid. I don't think even now that anyone's actively cleaning those. So just something to think about in surfaces that you're touching at your campsite, people that you're interacting with. And, for us, we've been really conscious of other people's space, but we've found that people haven't always been conscious of ours. And so just be vocal. If someone's getting a little too close, just remind them that you'd like them to stay a little bit further away or take a little bit of a step back. And I think that will make your experience at a campground a little bit easier right now. All right, let's dig into another beer. I didn't finish my peanut butter one, but I wouldn't drink this one again.
Do you have one in mind that you would like?
I'd like to try something from somewhere different.
All right.
Can we try this one? This one's called Harry Cherry Hefeweizen.
Sounds great.
Hefeweizen. Josh and I both really like cherry flavored beers.
Yeah.
Ooh, that one popped. So let's try it. Okay. Oh yeah, you can definitely smell the cherry, just like you could smell the peanut butter with the other one. Let's see if we can actually taste it. Oh yeah, that's really cherry. That one's really good.
Yeah,
I like that one.
It's a really tart cherry, but really nice.
Yeah, that one's really good. One of the best pretzels we've had on the road is this pretzel that we got at Mobcraft. It was a 16-inch German-style pretzel. It is so good. It was so big. It
came in a huge pizza box.
Yeah, definitely recommend if you're in Milwaukee that you check out Mobcraft. Really highly rated, really interesting beer flavors, and really good food. So hopefully the next time we're in Milwaukee, we'll actually be able to go inside and enjoy it a little bit more. But I'm glad that we could support them even, from away. So that brings us to tip number 4, which is provisioning. So Josh and I, because we travel every week to a new destination, we typically like to go to the grocery store when we get there because we want to support the community that we're visiting. But what we're really understanding and thinking about differently as we are moving from community to community is that, especially for more remote communities, they're already struggling to get a lot of what they need for themselves into their grocery stores. And so we're trying to be more conscious of, while we want to support local businesses and we want to support local communities, we also don't want to take away from the provisions they have available to them as residents who live there if they are already struggling to have enough on the shelves for themselves. So we have committed to provisioning in bigger cities, carrying a little bit more food with us than we would normally, somewhere between 2, maybe 3 weeks worth of food, and really trying to be conscious to stock up when we are in bigger cities where the impact of us visiting and purchasing food would be less dramatic on a community, and really trying to find other ways to support small businesses and communities that doesn't necessarily take away from people who live there themselves. So we encourage you to do the same thing. Plan ahead, think about how long you're going to be visiting, how remote is the place that you're going. Is there an opportunity for you to bring more with you than maybe you would normally so that you aren't having the same impact? And then ask the community around you where you can and how you can support them if it isn't through the grocery store. Maybe it's through curbside pickup of a restaurant or a brewery rather than going in and taking the last of the food that they might have. All right, so we're going to try another beer. Let's try one of these Cream City Bricks, Cream Ale. This was from Enlightened.
That'll give us a beer from each of the places.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of cream ale, so I'm looking forward to this one.
I'm not, but I always like to try new beers, so I will. While Josh pours that, we can go to tip number 5, which is to be flexible. I think that as nomads living full-time on the road, we've kind of really honed this muscle. We're very good at being flexible, being prepared to make a change in our route, in our destination, in our RV. And so I'd highly recommend that you kind of go somewhere with an idea of what you hope to do and places you hope to visit, but be prepared that they may be closed by the time you get there. There may be a change in what the community can support, and don't let that ruin your vacation. It could be really easy for you to spend this time planning ahead and picking the perfect destination with all these things that you want to do, and then to get there and find out that you can't do them. So we always say, be flexible, go with the flow, be prepared to do something different, and really enjoy that. You know, when you look back on this summer vacation, it's unlikely you're going to remember the viewpoint that was closed, the hike that was closed, that restaurant you couldn't go to. You're going to think back on the things you did do, the things you loved, the memories that you made as a family, as a couple, or maybe even just as yourself. So be flexible, be prepared to make change, and I think that you'll really love wherever then you go. All right, let's drink this beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a cream ale.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
it's a nice
good.
cream ale.
Yeah, it is. It's really smooth, and it's a nice beer.
I don't like cream ales that much, but this is a very nice beer. If I was presented it, I would, drink it. I wouldn't order it myself, but it's good. All right, so while Josh finishes that, let's move to tip number 6, which, as with being flexible, if you plan to take an extended trip this summer, or maybe you're full-timing as well, or starting your full-time journey, one of the things that we would recommend is that you reevaluate as you go. There's going to be things that come up as we move through this journey, and we may need to reevaluate whether it's safe to go somewhere, whether it makes sense to go somewhere. Maybe everything's closed all of a sudden where you had planned to go, or you thought they'd get to the reopening phase and they have not. We know that there are already some destinations along our summer route that are at risk, and each step along the way, we will check the next place we're going to go before we head there, and just evaluate whether it's safe to go there, whether we're welcome to come. As out-of-staters, are we even allowed to come to that place? And have some backup plans as to where we'll go if we can't go to that place that we're planning. You do a lot of research. I know for us, we usually plan 3 to 4 months at a time. We book those places out just to kind of make it easier on ourselves. And I know that can be a little challenging, especially as a person who does all the booking, if all of a sudden you have to make a change. But we've decided that that's just really the best way for us to be safe, to be secure, and know that we're making the right choices as we go along.
Yeah.
So our last tip for you is number 7, and that is to evaluate your type of RV travel. In the past, you might have been that resort warrior who was out every weekend at your favorite RV resort. Maybe like I did as a kid, my family used to go for a set few weeks every year to the same campground. And what we've really decided this year is that we needed to make some changes to be able to be more flexible in the type of RV travel that we had. And so we went and put solar on our RV. We've also really honed in on our boondocking skills, how we store water, how we bring extra water, how we cook, how we shower, how we do everything so that we can have more flexibility in the places that we go. You don't necessarily need to do the same thing we did. Maybe you don't need to put in thousands of dollars worth of solar. Maybe it's investing in a generator. Other things that we have tried to do as well is think about how could we charge our cell phones differently. So we bought a couple portable phone packs. That means we can charge the pack very quickly via our battery and our solar, and have that as a backup to charge 3 to 4 cycles of our phones.
How we wash our dishes, that's really been impacted as well. We bought a few different dishwashing containers that help us wash and dry and conserve water at the same time, and that's been very helpful so far.
Yeah, and if you're interested in more tips on how to boondock, we actually have a video coming out, I hope next week, where we're gonna be able to give you all these really cool tips that we've implemented, from big things like our solar setup to really small things like our dish container that Josh mentioned. These are some of the things that we have found have really been able to extend our boondocking. We actually just came off of a 5-week boondock, just really been able to hone our skills on letting us take extended trips. So we hope we'll be able to share that with you in the next week, and you'll come back and check that out. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We hope that you're going to be able to hit the road this summer. If you aren't, we hope you'll come along with us. We have some really fun destinations that we're headed to. We have some really great additional tips and advice that we can give you if you're hoping to start either a full-time journey, or maybe you're just trying to spend a little bit more time out in your RV. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.